All right, what's going on, Coin Observatory? Thank you for tuning into this video. I'm streaming this, but I'm going to post it after I'm done streaming. I just wanted to cover this upcoming ETF announcement. It's supposed to be announced by the 23rd. It's an actual deadline. The SEC cannot postpone this announcement any further. They have to make a decision. They have to make a decision now. This ETF's a little different. This one is based on futures. It's actually got two portions, got several portions. I'm going to highlight the two important ones. One of them's long, the other one's short. So this is an investment vehicle where retail investors can put their money in and essentially short Bitcoin and short Bitcoin futures. And that being said, we haven't had an ETF of that type come into play yet, right? So, sorry, glasses are a little foggy. And what I'm thinking is this is the move that the market's waiting for. I hear that there's a lot of traders sitting on the sidelines waiting to short the news based on the ETF rejection. But we also know that shorts are piled up so high and we're setting up for a scenario for a short squeeze. So I'm going to let you guys know my personal opinion on how I'm going to trade this, right? It's not financial advice, but essentially how I'm perceiving this one to play out in reference to the ETF, everybody waiting to short the ETF, and the short squeeze that we're eyeing. I'm going to the chart. I'm seeing a somewhat of a bear flag on the daily, but it's countered with the short stacked up at a really close to an all-time high, and we see shorts go parabolic. And here we're at a point where we've got an ETF proposal to be approved or rejected in the next 3 days. And essentially what I'm expecting to happen here, if the ETF gets rejected or even approved, let's start with a rejected scenario. If we start with an ETF rejection scenario, what we're going to see is we're going to see another knife come down. That's also going to really increase shorts all the way up. Fundamentally looking at Bitcoin did not get to 6,400 based on ETFs, right? We had this massive run up last year and none of that had anything to do with an ETF. So ETFs didn't get us here. I don't see why ETF rejection is going to push us lower. If we do get pushed lower, then the short squeeze is going to be more and more violent. I think that's what the market makers are waiting for, is for more shorts to pile in, because when they start squeezing, shorts are going to have to cover, and the more shorts there are, the bigger the squeeze. Best scenario is going to be what we saw on 4/7, right? In late April, we saw shorts go up parabolic to an all-time high, and then we saw that massive squeeze, and it set us into a really nice uptrend. So I believe we're at a very similar scenario, and this squeeze is going to be influenced by the news. Essentially release some bearish news, get the price to drop some more, pile in a lot more shorts, waiting to FOMO short even though shorts are an all-time high. We do know that whenever everyone is set on a market in one way, that it typically goes another way, or it goes the other way. So when we see shorts coming up to an all-time high, bulls really reluctant to buy in here, almost at a yearly low. Not quite at a yearly low, but at those decent low levels where we've seen them before. It's going to be really interesting. So the play, let's go on an intraday chart and talk about the play. You guys know I've been long since 64, and I said, head short at the tops. So I'm going to go ahead and put some horizontal lines, kind of display my positions. I'm long since 6041. So right here, this orange line, I'm short since 66, right there, right? So and yesterday I was talking about, long in that 6,300, and it got down there a couple of times, and now it's back up. So what I'm looking to do here, if we hit 66 again and fail to break through, I'm gonna add to my short, right? And essentially, whichever way the news goes, whichever way the chart goes, you're gonna have stops both ways, and we're gonna profit on at least one of those trades. Let's say it's a bearish ETF, or it's a bearish news. So I'm expecting a knife. I'm expecting bears to pile up, go parabolic, price to go down, maybe retest at 5,700, which would be a good area to go long. for the short squeeze. The reason I'm talking about the short squeeze so much is because every time we've gotten to these levels, we get that squeeze, right? Every time bears overtake bulls, we get a squeeze. We even saw one in February. We saw some in November last year. So essentially this is the play, right? So long from the bottom, I'm going to keep that open. Short from the top, I'm going to keep that open. Set stops in both directions, and wait for it all to come together. This ETF is old, right? It was submitted in November, September 2017. So it doesn't have much weight. It's not like one of the newer, more refined ETF proposals. And I don't believe it should have that much weight on the market, but we do know the market's been sensitive and it's been overreacting to ETF news. We had 2 rejections, so bears are on the sideline saying, hey, if we get a 3rd rejection, we're going to go lower. I'm ready to short this and make some money. Well, I think it's going to come down on a rejection, pile in a lot of bears, and just squeeze everybody and make that violent leg up we're looking for at a short squeeze. These are my 2 cents on display and how I'm going to essentially play it. If you guys have questions, put them in my notes. By the way, this video is unlisted, right? So only you guys in access to my notes are going to be able to see this. If you have any questions, ping me in my notes and I will answer them. Thank you.